Are you seeing the trends in music education? Well, we really wonder, what can we expect in 2025? Well, welcome to the Ultimate Music Teachers live show. I'm Gloria St. Germain, your host, and I'm thrilled to be here today. Joining me, as always, is the brilliant and smiling Joanne Barker. Hi, Joanne.
Hey there, Gloria. Hi, everyone. We're so excited to dive into today's topic. I love looking forward and planning. So, what will the trend be in music education? What can we expect in 2025?
Absolutely, Joanne. In this episode today, we're going to explore emerging trends and opportunities in music education, including how technology is shaping the way we teach, new group class formats, and really innovative strategies to keep students engaged. We are in the education business after all.
We are, and we're going to show you ways that UMT stays ahead of those trends and stays up with them. It's not fixed. We haven't decided here's how it's going to go, and this is the only way. We want to offer tools and resources that will help teachers remain innovative and relevant. Let's get started.
Absolutely. So let's start with technology in music education.
Mm.
This is probably one of the biggest game changers in music education, and that's technology. Joanne, how have you seen technology transform teaching in the past few years?
Oh, I almost laugh because we all remember back a few years ago. I remember that first email that came in. I thought, I can't teach online. I don't know anything about teaching online. And now I'm like, I love teaching online. It's been incredible, from the apps that it can make music fun. I've learned so much about game making online. Like, my goodness, there's platforms that are out there that are so awesome to use. Technology has opened up so many possibilities. Bad weather days, sick days, kids being sick days. Like, oh my goodness, so many changes now thanks to technology. Teachers can connect with students across the world, right? We know teachers who have students in the same class in North America and in Germany at the same time. So it makes lessons more accessible and more interactive. The world is so open to us now.
Exactly. And, as we look ahead to 2025, tools like AI powered, messaging and practice apps and virtual reality, we have to be open to it. And these learning experiences are really going to revolutionize the way we teach.
Mm.
And one of the things that, we're thrilled about is our new Ultimate Music Theory flashcard system. And you can check that out at musictheoryapp.com, musictheoryapp.com. And we've now provided you with flashcards that correlate to each and every book from beginner A, B, C, Prep 1, Prep 2, Basic, Intermediate, and Advanced. There's also ear training in there and music trivia. So there's 10 subjects all waiting for you that correlate to the Ultimate Music Theory program. This is a huge teaching resource, and each one of your students has their own app, and you can actually check their progress. And I think the key is knowing also how to integrate these tools effectively into your studio, right, Joanne?
Well, I agree with that. It's one thing to have the tools. It's another thing to how do I implement them? That's where our resources can make it easy for teachers to stay current with the tech trends while maintaining the personal touch. And that's where the community of teachers and the coaching calls that we offer through the UMT membership are so beneficial because you can ask questions like, well, how do I use that? Well, how does this work? How do you work a game into a lesson? How do you do an online game? It's great to have the resources, but it's like a great big cookbook. You got to open it up, you got to read the recipe, and you got to learn how to do it. So to have somebody there to help you and kind of coach you along to how to use those resources so you can stay relevant, it just makes such a difference. And it makes that, lessons just so much more special when we can integrate the stuff with ease.
Yeah, absolutely. I think another trend that we're excited about is the rise of group class formats. Joanne and I have been teaching group classes for over 20 years. And I think it's important to help teachers realize all of the benefits. And Joanne, maybe you can share, why do you think group classes are gaining so much popularity?
Well, I think there's group classes are definitely a win-win situation. There's a few things. For teachers, obviously, we can make more money per hour. For families, I've had this kind of concern over the last several years that we need to earn the money we need to earn to warrant our education. But at what point does that become too expensive for a beginner student? So that's where group lessons are so advantageous. We can keep the fees for parents, for families, lower to make music lessons accessible to more people, because not everybody has, a six-figure income at home, but they want their children to have that education. So it's far more affordable for families, and the student gets a longer lesson in a group, right? And so they're there longer. And so instead of driving a half an hour for half an hour lesson and half an hour home, you're driving, and it's a more meaningful experience to be there, right? It allows the students to collaborate with other students. I find the ear training in group setting, oh my goodness. The rhythm, oh my goodness, so much better. The attendance, oh my goodness. And when you set your fees as an annual tuition, and we have that explained inside the combo course, right? I did a whole segment on that, a whole module on setting your fees as an annual tuition. No more makeup lessons. Like, there's just so many benefits because parents see it more like any other activity that they're going to. It's not a week by week experience. It's a whole year experience like hockey or dance class or anything else, right? So you foster that sense of community among the students. They get a little friendly competition going on. They want to keep up with their classmates. And it's also just such a great way to make learning fun and interactive for students instead of just being there with an adult.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, Joanne. And I think too that, in 2025, we'll see more creative group classes models, like short-term ultimate music theory club camps, themed workshops that might be about composing or performance. And of course, these build confidence. And one of the things I really want to emphasize is that when you are doing UMT club classes with your students, it elevates all of their resources in learning all subjects, right? Because they learn how to work as a group together. And these formats cater also, really importantly, to different learning styles. And they really keep students engaged when you're doing multiple activities within that 1 hour theory club class, right, Joanne?
Totally. No, and I think one of the best parts is we have step-by-step lesson plans and resources. And you just said something, so I'm just going to put a teaser out there. Okay, can I send a teaser? You said composition and short-term camps. We have this wonderful new momentum course inside the UMT membership. And all I'm going to say is if you're interested in learning how to teach composing classes, you might want to get involved.
Yeah.
Because there's a great resource there, if I do say so myself. It took me hours to create it. So we have the resources to help you do something you might not normally be comfortable with. The resources are right there, step-by-step guide to help you along the way to do that. So you can easily launch your group classes and watch your studio thrive.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, obviously teachers are raving about the Ultimate Music Teachers membership, everything from the courses that we've designed. We created the momentum courses and resources and all the game activities designed by Joanne. And I think this is one of the key factors is how can we teach effectively, make money, based on what we're doing with our business, but also not be committed to creating all of these things by themselves. As Joanne said, it took me hours to do this. It took us actually years to create the Ultimate Music Teachers membership. And it's just kind of handed to you. It's less than $25 a week. That's crazy for all of this stuff. And one of the things I really want to talk about and maybe wrap up with this is student engagement strategies. If you've ever had a student where they're rolling their eyes or going, oh, do I have to do this? I want to talk about student engagement, a challenge that every single teacher faces. And Joanne, what are maybe some of the trends that you've seen in keeping students motivated?
Well, number one, it would be the group lessons because they like being there with their friends. I've had students who attend very strange, like 5 different schools come to my studio. I'm in a very strange area. And these 2 boys had never met and they became buddies, right? So that group setting is such a motivator to start with. But gamification is a big one. Turning lessons into games keeps students excited to learn. And a game, we can just hold up a flashcard. Yeah. They can guess it. Or they can use the app, which is a lot more fun because there's a little more going on there. And they can use some of the games inside the UMT membership. We all love playing games. I mean, think about Monopoly. It's not an easy game. There's thinking going on. There's money going on. There's thought process going on. There's decisions having to be made, right? Critical thinking. Yeah. That's what the games are like inside the UMT. And one of the really important things about all the games is they're not just random. I haven't created games that cover from beginner A to advanced in the same game because that's pointless, right? Young students don't know what a 16th note is. So the games are focused to the level that the the game is created for, and they're focused to where the students are in the book at the time, right? So it's correlation, it's reinforcement of what they're learning as they're going along, Another way that I see that's really good for keeping students engaged, actually I'm doing tonight, is we're going to have a little performance class, right? Little performance opportunities. Doesn't have to be full-blown recitals. You can do it on a Monday night or a Tuesday night. Doesn't have to be the big deal. Just an opportunity to get students together and having little themed events. And don't forget about personalized learning paths. Students love feeling that their lessons are tailored for them. So do make sure that they don't get the idea that they're just a generic thing. Even in a group class, we try to stay, that each student is working on a special piece to them because it makes them feel so special.
Yeah, absolutely. I love all of that, Joanne. Thank you for sharing that. As we was kind of do a reflection on what's transpired for us in the past year, and looking ahead into 2025, I think engagement will be all about creating experiences. We've all attended a lot of teacher events and training events, and at Ultimate Music Theory, we're always running live events for you to grow as in professional development as a music educator. And whether it's through interactive activities or building connections in group settings, the focus will be, the focus will be on making music learning meaningful, but also making it enjoyable.
Exactly. And with UMT's library of games and activities and teaching strategies, and some tips on maybe how to make things easier, like key to staff correlation. And those are keys on a piano, by the way. I always get excited when I hear a resource calling the things on a piano a note. Those are keys. Notes are on the page, right? We want to be really specific with our students with the language and reinforce that through playing the games. You're doing a key identification game. You're doing a note identification. You're doing a note value thing, right? You'll have everything you'll need inside to keep your students inspired and, more importantly, maybe keep you inspired too.
Yeah. And I think one of the things too, when I look back at, writing the Ultimate Music Theory series, there's over 60 books that Sheila McKibben-Uren and I have created in the Ultimate Music Theory workbook program. And so it doesn't matter whether you're teaching voice or piano or guitar or violin, such as, many of our UMT members are all different disciplines. And the basics is that you need to learn the language of music no matter what instrument you play. And even when you think of collaboration or performing in a symphony, or if you're in a band at school, you need to know the foundational language of music theory. And we've covered so much today: technology, group classes, student engagement strategies. I think these trends are really shaping the future of music education, and we're to help you stay ahead of the curve.
That's right. Join us inside the Ultimate Music Theory Teachers membership at teachumt.com, and you're going to get access to these resources, the tools, and the coaching, and the community to help you learn, plan, teach, and grow your music teaching business for productivity and profitability too.
Absolutely. So get started today with courses, community, and coaching. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. Visit us at teachumt.com and take the first step towards an innovative and very successful 2025.
And thanks for joining us today. We can't wait to see you inside the membership and hear how you're implementing these trends into your studio.
Absolutely. See you next time on the Ultimate Music Teachers Live Show. Remember, visit us at teachumt.com and let's do it together. Teach with passion. Bye now.